Well, when you have those experiences, they are transforming. After the experiences, nobody would possibly be able to bring me back to the kind of worldview that I was brought up with in the university. I mean, that's just finished. You have to sort of work on, you really have to, it's almost like bring meditation into everyday life to remind yourself how you can actually see the world. So the memory of that experience stays, but to maintain it, you have to cultivate it, and the major task is to really bring it into your everyday life, and it changes radically. And I was brought up without religion. My parents they were born in a small Czech town, and they fell in love and wanted to get married. And there was a problem because my father's family didn't have any religion. My mother's family was very strictly Catholic, so the only decent joining had to happen in church. And the local church refused to marry them because my father was a pagan. And so it seemed to almost destroyed the possibility of the wedding until my grandparents made a major donation to the church, and then they were willing to, relax their rules and marry a pagan. And the grandparents had a house and business right across the street, on Main Street, right across from the church. So it was a big thing. They could stop traffic on Main Street, and they rolled the carpets, from the altar all the way to the house, so the guests could go from the altar to the banquet and so on. My parents got so upset by this. They said, we don't want to commit our children to any religion, let them make their own choice. So I had no religious input. So I am this strange case of somebody who was brought to spirituality and mysticism through clinical and laboratory work. Usually it's the other way around. You get some kind of religious upbringing, and then you discover materialistic science, and then you discard anything spiritual without differentiation. Some primitive superstition is in the same category, something like Tibetan Buddhism, or these systems based on centuries of really intense study of consciousness. This is all dismissed as superstition and unscientific and so on. So this was a major change in me. I mean, opening up to spirituality. But then all kinds of other things happened, not just to me, but to people who did some responsible work on themselves.